It is and has been a lifesaver for me. When I became ill, my wife and I got divorced. I've lived in a house all my life. I've never lived in an apartment. This was the first apartment that I've lived in. The people that are there, we all have the same issues. We understand each other. We've made some great friendships. And without an affordable place to live, I don't know if I would have made it through the first few years of my divorce and illness. I would like to see that society as a whole sees the need that we have as people with mental illness, because in a lot of cases, a lot of us can't work full time anymore, so to have affordable places to live and comfortable places to live and safe places to live is something that we all deserve as humans. And unfortunately, there just aren't enough people dedicated to supplying us with affordable living.
Thank you, Lori. First off, I'd just like to say how disappointed I am that I have to follow two fabulous speakers like Star and Louise, but I'll do my best. I'd like to start by thanking the members of our board for the thankless work they do for us. I'd also like to thank Lori and Liz, who are the dynamic duo who put us all together. And I'd also like to thank my fellow workers, Denise and Elisa, who I work with at Pet Stuff. And by the way, anyone who has a pet, free delivery. Free delivery. These little cards that are on your tables, I kind of picked one out that I just wanted to say before I got going. When the world says, give up, hope whispers, try one more time. Something I think we should all keep in mind. My story starts quite a while ago. I was in my late teens when they tell me that I was first affected by bipolar and borderline personality disorder. I'm now 56 years old. I went almost 30 years of my life without being diagnosed. There was a lot of suffering. I'm not sure I'm going to make it. But I pressed on, not knowing any different, thought everybody lived like this. So I kept going. And about 10 years ago, I got diagnosed. Previously to that, by about 20 years, I was married. I have 2 boys. Right now I'm separated from my wife and my boys because of my mental illness. I was unable to conduct myself in a proper manner to live in that house. So I left with nothing. That was my choice. I wanted to leave everything I could in the house as it was to give them as much security in their new life. So at about 46 years old, 48 years old, in that ballpark, I was out on my own. I didn't have a clue what I was going to do. I used to make pretty decent money. I had a good living, house, family, and now I had nothing. And nowhere to turn. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know where to go. But thankfully, my clinician, seeing my struggle, we sat down, we talked, and I finally let her know exactly what was going on in my life. And over time, we put together a plan to sit down and talk to the people at Affirmative House. I was scared to death. I didn't know where I was going. Before all this came together, I lost my psychiatrist, he retired. My GP retired. My mental health nurse retired. My new GP retired. Anyone who works with me retires. So if you want to retire early, give me a call. But that in itself put a lot of stress on me because I didn't have the supports that I was used to. So I struggled along, and I'll be honest, there were a couple of times I didn't think I was going to make it. In fact, I was sure I wasn't going to make it. But I was fortunate enough, my clinician got me in touch with Liz, and Liz and I had a conversation about Affirmative House, what their expectations are, and what their obligations are to me as a tenant. That moment was a turning point in my life. For the first time in probably 10 years, I saw light at the end of the tunnel, whereas before, I couldn't even see the tunnel. So we had another meeting, Liz and Lori and I accepted the opportunity to move into Affirmative House. I took the few belongings that I had, moved in. I didn't know what I was going to do at this point yet. I was still only working with disability. I didn't have enough in my mind to be able to continue to pay the bills and maintain the apartment, keep myself healthy. But what I learned from being in the building and working with Liz and Lori is that support was no further away than a walk across the street or a walk across the hallway in the building. We have such a community within a community in that building. It gave me the strength to at least try, because I had given up. I did not want to continue on. But with people like Yarnell and Amy, who spoke here today, and Emily, who's at the back as well, these people have become pillars in my life. Because every time I feel bad, they make me feel better. Living in a building where everybody has a mental illness is such an incredible, empowering feeling. Because I could be having the worst day ever, and everybody in that building understands exactly where I'm coming from. So I don't have to hide it. I don't have to pretend. Like when I was growing up, I'd say to my parents, why is this planet still populated? I don't understand. That's how messed up I was inside. But now, I'm in my, I've just about graduated out of Affirmative House. I've been there almost 5 years. I have turned things around so much. I have more friends than I had. I have 2 part-time jobs, which I love. I get to work at Pet Stuff. I do the financial literacy part of our program. And that is the crown. That's the jewel in my crown. I feel so good when I do that. I could not have done that 5 years ago. If it wasn't for the fact that they provide me with safe, clean, affordable housing, and the hope that comes along with that, I would not be here speaking to you today. It was that powerful for me. I was at such a low point that today I feel as if I've been given a new lease on life. And that was through the efforts of Affirmative Ventures, Affirmative House, and all the tenants that live in it. With that said, I'm in a very good place, and as it says on all the tables everywhere, hope is my buzzword. Because without hope, I won't carry on. Without hope, I won't try and beat that bad day that I'm having. It's hope that keeps me going. It's the foundation to my recovery. Thank you.